All right, I am Brianna, and I am so excited to share with you your unique business blueprint. Okay, so in a recent study, did you know that in a Gallup report, they actually did a recent study, more than 85% of people walk into the business industry or walk into their job and they hate it. That's not the actual problem though, because most people have been conditioned to compromise what they actually desire for their survival needs to be met. Here's the problem. The problem is that we believe in order to have prosperity, we have to do something about it. A lot of our beliefs are stemmed from prosperity equaling effort. Okay, so hold on tight for just a moment. Whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee, it doesn't matter. Whether you are stuck in a 9-to-5 and fantasize about getting out of it, or you've been doing business, but there's the enthusiasm for what you do, and that's slowly dwindling. Now, prosperity is not the issue. The fact that you are after prosperity is not an issue, right? It's why we're in the current frame that we are doing what we're doing. But my unique business blueprint is going to help you change the way in which you do your work. So I want you to imagine a world that you wake up every day and you don't just do the mundane shit that you did yesterday. You wake up with inspiration and enthusiasm because you changed how you worked before you ever changed what you actually did for work. Okay. And yes, after going through this entire process that I'm going to take you on, you more than likely will never tolerate doing the work that you hate because your soul is here for expansion. And I really want you to allow this to sink in. What if you were already prosperous? What if you were already prosperity? The conditioning by society, especially in the Western world, is that your prosperity is equal to how much effort you are putting in. So I created the unique business blueprint to help you find your enthusiasm and your enjoyment for what you do to get prosperity. But first, we have to change how we work. And that requires looking at the fact that we think we have to trade our soul for the dollar or trade our soul for the material gain. And it's just not truth. So I want you to take all of that belief and idea and put it on the shelf. Literally just let it sit there. Because what I'm going to expose to you is actually finding enjoyment and enthusiasm for what you do with both the process of imagination and the freedom that you require. So when going through this process, it's amazing to identify that there is very specific tools that help me make this transition. Gene keys and human design, they are the two fundamental tools that help us understand at a genetic level what our natural gifts are. When you understand that you came with everything that you need in order to manifest what you desire, you start to be less and less worried about what society expects from you, and you start to contribute to society based on who you already are. So that discovery process requires discovering A, what those gifts are, and B, who you are. And it requires a process of really getting out of the norm and the false identity that you are not unique, because you are. There are no two souls alike. And when we operate from a paradigm that there is so much more for us, then we start to become enthusiastic about the future potential. Business does not equal busyness. And business does not equal trading ourselves for the material world. It means showing up in the material world and naturally prospering, right? So I'm really excited because today you are getting it at an introductory discounted price for only $19. What I can assure you is that you will go through a very specific discovery process within yourself. And really, I will hand you the questions that need to be asked in order for you to discover why it is that you've been compromising, because I promise the big fat lie is that you have to trade your life force to the external world and hoping that you will gain something. 87% of people hate what they do for work and what they do in life. That's a huge number. It is not minimal. And beyond that number, we have a report that says most people are working no less than 40 hours to 50 hours a week just to sustain or get by with the survival that requires their bills are paid, or it requires X amount of effort, again, to receive what it is that we feel we want to essentially gain. So in my unique business blueprint, I am excited to expose your energy type, what is aligned, what is not aligned, how to gain the confidence to leave essentially the jobs and the business and the things that aren't actually for you. If you have read any metaphysical books, the number one thing that is taught over and over and over again in the self-help industry is number one, you are broken. Therefore, they can sell you on the idea that you need to self-improve. The number two idea that they sell you is that you need to be a duplicate of somebody else's success, and it needs to look exactly like they did it. And let me ask you something. How has that been working? If you are going to spend majority of your life trading time for money or trading time to gain something, doesn't it make sense that there is enthusiasm for what you do and enjoyment in the work that you do? And isn't it time to reframe how we actually work? If you have ever studied people like Oprah or Tony Robbins, they are so aligned. They are not taking a blueprint someone gave them and mimicking it. They chose to be authentic in what their soul wanted to express. And then the byproduct, ironically, was they've had massive success. So it's time to become successful, and that only takes a few identity tweaks, and I'm excited to expose to you what that is.